Our next guest, Amber Lundin-Hartgraves. Hello, how are
Hi,
you?
good.
You're all the way from Mariposa, one of my favorite places in California. You're here to talk about Relay for Life.
Yes, absolutely.
Tell me about it.
I try to talk about it as much as I can, everyone I know. Relay for Life is put on by the American Cancer Society, and the whole point is to raise as much money as possible in order to support cancer research, to help families and patients who are going through cancer, to come up with new technologies and medicine to help cancer patients. What they do is just amazing. And Relay, they're all over the world. There's even a relay, I believe, in Denmark this year, which is way cool. Yeah. And so they raise so much money for the search for the cure, for whatever they can do, a better help. And it's just huge, and I'm really, really involved in that, and I love it.
So how does it work?
Well, Relay for Life, the American Cancer Society does a lot of different things, but the main thing they do is they put on Relay for Life. And Relay for Life is either you can do it with a university or you can do it with your local town, things like that. And what you do is you create a team, and then you try to raise money for your team as much as you can to help with the research.
Per lap or something?
No, just as much as you possibly can, and then the point is to try to walk the whole night. So most relays will be like 9 a.m. to 9 a.m. the next day.
24 hours?
Yeah, they try to be. Some are, 12 hours.
So you build your team of however many people you can.
Yes.
You go and you're on the track, and when you raise your hand, like, I'm done, right?
Yeah, it's good to take shifts, with your team, and there are that way you can walk, because what you're doing is cancer. Those patients go through such a tough time, and there are times when they're up at 3 in the morning and they can't sleep, and they're hurting and they're miserable, and so we're not, celebrating that, but we're joining them. We're saying, you're not alone. Like, we can be here for you. We understand. Like, let us help you as much as we can. And so that's why it's kind of an all-night thing. It gets really hard, 2, 4 a.m. You're like, oh, man. But to walk around that lap has such a meaning, especially the majority of the people involved in Relay for Life themselves are survivors, or family members who have passed or who are currently fighting, family, friends, everyone. So it's such a great, tight community to be in. Just to be on that track with your people is amazing. And then the money that you raise really, really helps the people you're there for. So it's good.
How long have you been involved with this?
I went to Relay for Life when I was a kid, but I didn't really understand it. But then when I started school at the University of Portland in 2010, I became their Luminaria chair, and I've been the Luminaria chair for the last 4 years until I graduated this last May. And now I'm the Luminaria chair for the Mariposa Relay.
Nice.
And so that's definitely something I'm very, very involved in.
What is there anything personal that made you get interested in this?
Yeah. Well, originally when I started college, I had a lot of family that had been through traumas like these, and I knew a lot of people, and I went to school to be a nurse, so I'm very compassionate and just want to help anybody I can. That's my thing. And so that's why I originally joined Relay. But after I graduated this last May, I got diagnosed with cancer. And so now I not only relay for my family, but my family relays for me. And so that is just such an amazing feeling. And that's why my relay shirt is purple for this year, since I'm technically a survivor. But I still have 1 month of chemo left because it's so new. Still going through all the treatments and everything.
Well, you look like you're doing great.
Thank you. Yeah,
you look like you're feeling
didn't lose any
good.
hair, the little things.
Yeah,
but I have glioblastoma multiforme stage 4, which is a type of brain cancer, and totally sudden after graduation. My boyfriend at the time, who's now my fiance, made me go to the doctor, forced me to go.
Because you were having headaches?
I was having headaches, and I started to have these little mini seizures where my body didn't move, but I'd be having this conversation with you, and all of a sudden I'd be like, oh, and then it'd be quiet for like 30 seconds. And I could think, but I couldn't speak to you. I couldn't get up and go for a walk, or, I kind of had to be still for a little bit, and then it would fade away. and I would come back, and I'd be like, oh, great, it happened again, you know, like, shoot. And so after about 6 months, my fiance made me go in because he saved me, you know. I make sure I say that every single time. And they did an MRI. They said, well, you look fine, but let's do an MRI scan because we kind of have to. Mm-hmm. And they called me 3 hours later, and they were like, you should really come back and see us. But they were amazing people, and I've had 2 surgeries. The first one, they took 40% of the tumor, which, you know, isn't totally ideal. That way they biopsied it, see what you really have, what the deal is. But then I went up to the University of Washington in Seattle for a second opinion, and that hospital is just absolutely phenomenal. They gave me a second surgery. They took out 99% of it, literally, like, every cell almost, and it was, you just couldn't ask for better results. So every 2 months I fly up there for radiation, and, well, I'm done with radiation, but for all my radiation that I did there, and for chemo and checkups and scans, but it's just amazing there.
Well, you know, you always hear about having a positive attitude is a big part of recovery, and just talking to you is just inspirational, really.
Thank you, yeah.
The Relay for Life is happening when?
It'll be May 30th. In Mariposa at the county fairgrounds, which is right off the highway, so you can't miss it. It'll be on the football field, which is great. This year it's a little bit shorter, so it'll be from 9 a.m. to midnight this year. But we'll still have all the ceremonies, welcoming, luminaria, fight for the survivors. We have really, really funny ceremonies too, like we call him Mr. Relay, and you know, he has to kind of dress up as like a queen or a king and that walk around the lap, and then he raises money. Like, I would give him money because I want him to win, and that all goes to Relay for Life. So just fun, sporadic things like that to really help raise as much money as possible before the event and during the event, so that all that money goes to the American Cancer Society.
Is there any way that the viewers can help out?
Yeah, absolutely. If they know somebody on the Mariposa, they can donate on their personal page, or they can just go straight to the page for the Mariposa event, and they can donate just to the event itself. Even if they're not from Mariposa, it doesn't matter where you are. Everyone goes through the same things. So it's amazing to be able to donate, and all of that money goes to such a good cause. I mean, the research that is just coming out with my form of cancer, since I've had it for 8 months, has been epically phenomenal. And so for me to know that all of this money are going to cases like that for everyone is amazing. It's really neat.
I think you're pretty amazing.
Thank you.
Amber, thanks for coming by.
Yeah,
it was
thank
nice
you
talking
so much.
with you. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back on The Buzz. Stick around.